Smoke hung thick over the battlefield, swirling with the scent of gunpowder and the sharp tang of sweat. The metallic taste of adrenaline was heavy in the mouths of the soldiers, each one scanning the rubble-strewn street for movement, for danger, for the unseen threat that had taken down their squad leader in an instant. Every footstep, every whispered command felt like a countdown to the next attack. The SEAL team, a unit of the most elite soldiers in the world, had been trained to face chaos, but nothing in their training prepared them for what had just happened. "Who did that?" the SEAL barked, his voice cutting through the haze like a blade. His boots crunched over broken concrete, eyes narrowing on every shadow, every fragment of movement. The men behind him froze in response, hands gripping weapons tightly, their hearts hammering against their ribcages. The sudden silence that followed the shot was deafening, oppressive, a weight pressing down on everyone in the immediate vicinity. No one answered, no one moved. The tension was a living, breathing entity, coiling itself around each man, threatening to snap at any moment. Then, from the dense smoke that had engulfed the alleyway, a figure emerged. Slow, deliberate, every step calculated. Silence fell instantly, as if the world itself had paused to watch. She moved with the kind of precision that spoke of years of relentless training, eyes scanning, calculating, assessing. Her rifle was held with intimate familiarity, the stock pressed comfortably against her shoulder. Every inch of her body was poised, disciplined, lethal. And yet, there was something about the way she carried herself, a calm, unshakable confidence that seemed impossible in a place like this, that froze the SEALs in their tracks. The female sniper's eyes met the SEALs across the smoke-filled street, and in that moment, recognition passed silently between them. Not recognition of identity, not yet, but recognition of skill, of control, of dominance in the chaos. The men, seasoned veterans of every kind of warfare imaginable, felt a flicker of something foreign. Awe. The SEAL blinked, his voice caught somewhere between disbelief and respect. You did that." Her gaze didn't waver. She nodded once, almost imperceptibly, and then lowered the rifle just enough to indicate she was ready to move forward, ready to take the lead. No hesitation. No need for explanations. In combat, there is no room for doubt. Every second counts, every choice is decisive. And right now, the choice was clear: follow her, or be left behind. The squad moved cautiously, each soldier acutely aware of the presence of someone they had underestimated until this moment. She led them through the smoke, weaving between overturned vehicles and collapsed walls, using the cover of debris with a grace that was almost artistic. She communicated without words, using subtle hand signals, her eyes flicking constantly, reading the battlefield like a book that only she could interpret. The SEAL, a veteran of more operations than he cared to count, found himself both frustrated and fascinated. He had been trained to lead, to make the split-second decisions that meant life or death, and yet here was someone commanding the situation without uttering a single word, and the men were instinctively following her. There was a lesson in every step she took, a demonstration of skill that went beyond standard training. She wasn't just a sniper. She was a tactician, a predator in human form, calculating every angle, every trajectory, every potential threat. As they approached the edge of the burned-out street, a new danger emerged. Gunfire erupted from a collapsed building across from them, bullets sparking off concrete and metal with deafening clatter. The SEALs dropped to the ground instinctively, returning fire toward the source, but the female sniper had already anticipated this. She ducked behind a piece of rubble, leaned out for a split second, and fired with uncanny precision. Each shot found its mark. The gunman on the rooftop went down before the SEALs even had time to take aim. The squad leader, still struggling to regain his composure, looked at her, incredulous. "Where did you come from?" he asked, voice barely audible over the fading echoes of gunfire. She finally spoke, her voice low and controlled, like every word had been weighed and measured. "I've been here a long time. Watching, waiting, learning. You just didn't notice until now." The SEAL swallowed hard, absorbing the weight of her words. He had faced danger all over the world, from the mountains of Afghanistan to the deserts of Iraq, and yet the sheer presence of this woman challenged everything he thought he knew about combat. Her calmness under fire, her precision, her strategic mind, it was almost unsettling. And yet, it was exactly what the team needed. They moved forward, clearing the street with synchronized efficiency. She directed them with gestures, glances, and the occasional terse command. The SEAL found himself following instinctively, trusting her judgment even as his training screamed that he should be in control. She had earned that trust in moments that would have taken most teams months or years to cultivate. The smoke began to thin as they approached the main intersection. From the shadows, insurgents emerged, weapons raised, ready to finish the job they had started. But the female sniper didn't hesitate. She signaled the SEALs to split, to flank, to cover. Each soldier moved like a machine, guided by her unseen hand, and every movement seemed preordained, choreographed. Then came the moment that solidified her legend in the minds of everyone present. A man appeared in the open, aiming directly at one of the SEALs who had momentarily lost cover. The female sniper didn't even blink. She raised her rifle, calculated the distance, adjusted for wind, and squeezed the trigger. The insurgent fell before he could fire a single shot, the silence after the bullet striking like a confirmation of her dominance. The SEAL dropped to his knees, lowering his weapon, stunned. That was impossible, he muttered under his breath. Impossible wasn't in her vocabulary. She had trained to defy expectations, to turn the improbable into the inevitable. Her career had been built on precision, patience, and an unflinching commitment to excellence. She didn't just react, she anticipated, planned, and executed with a ruthlessness tempered by discipline. As the last of the threat was neutralized, the SEAL finally allowed himself to breathe. He looked at her, really looked, and saw more than just a sniper. He saw a force of nature, a living embodiment of skill and courage, someone who had changed the outcome of the battle with her presence alone. "Name?" he asked, though he already felt the answer didn't matter. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she surveyed the area, ensuring no danger remained. Her movements were methodical, deliberate, a constant reminder that in her world, there were no accidents, only choices and consequences. Finally, she turned, eyes meeting his once more. "You can call me, the one you didn't see coming." There was no arrogance in her tone, only the quiet confidence of someone who had faced death countless times and emerged not just alive, but dominant. The SEAL nodded, a mixture of respect and disbelief crossing his features. He had met many skilled operatives in his career, but few left an impression like this. She wasn't just exceptional, she was extraordinary. In the days that followed, the story of the female sniper spread through the ranks. Men who had once scoffed at rumors of her existence now spoke her name with reverence. Her tactics, her precision, her ability to turn chaos into control, it became a benchmark for excellence. And yet, she remained elusive, a shadow in the smoke, appearing only when needed, vanishing before recognition could catch up. The SEAL team learned a valuable lesson that day. Skill was more than training, courage was more than bravery, and leadership could come from the most unexpected places. She had redefined what it meant to be a warrior, challenging every preconception and leaving a mark that would not soon be forgotten. Months later, when the team gathered for debriefing, the SEAL couldn't stop talking about her. "You don't understand," he said to the others, voice tinged with awe. "She didn't just save us. She taught us how to see differently, how to anticipate, how to survive when everything else tells you that it's impossible. And somewhere, out there in the world, she moved silently, invisibly, yet profoundly, shaping outcomes with precision and poise. A ghost in the chaos, a master of her craft, a female sniper whose name might never be fully known but whose impact was undeniable. The legend of her actions spread not because of fanfare, not because of medals or recognition, but because true mastery always leaves its mark. In the smoke and silence, in the heat of battle, she had walked out, and in doing so, she had redefined courage, skill, and the meaning of impossible. Every soldier who witnessed that day would remember the way the smoke parted, how the world seemed to pause, and how one person could change everything with calm precision and unwavering resolve. The SEALs had faced death countless times, but this was different. This was a lesson in humility, in respect, and in the sheer power of one mind, one body, one will trained to perfection. And for the team, and for every soldier who ever doubted the impossible, one thing was clear: when she walked out of the smoke, the rules changed.